This is an example journal, a student's journal, their work. She bought a really good journal book, hardcover book. You can use a composition notebook too, but these are good to have, the little extra investment, because you're going to use these in future classes. And to start off with, you include a table of contents. So you want to skip about 3 pages for your table of contents. And the table of contents has the name of the journal entry and the page number. I can find it on just the first page I can find it on, so that if you can work out of order, or if we do a lab before you get to a specific journal entry, you can have the lab entry in there first. And I can look for what I'm looking for by just using your table of contents. It tells me what page to look. And that continues. It'll be about 3 pages of table of contents. So skip 3 pages when you get your journal for your table of contents, 3 or 4 pages. And then when you start your journal entries, diagrams are always on the left and information or key on the right, and they are color coded to match. We also use numbers instead of names on the diagrams. You can see here, numbers instead of names. The names that correspond with those numbers are across from them. And a reason for this is to be a study guide, so you can cover up your answers and quiz yourself with the diagram. Image on the left, information on the right. Continued on. Image on the left, information on the right. Now, if you run out of space, in this case, there's a lot of information about the organic molecules, and she ran out of space. So she just continued that information on the next page, but she did not begin a new entry on that right page, because we want the entries to be side by side. Image, information, side by side. So all new entries begin on the left-hand page. New entry, left-hand page. Let me also skip a little bit, show you a lab entry. These are some photos we took in the microscope with our cell phones. All lab entries, all labs, will end up as photos in your journal with the image on the left, information about it on the right. She actually printed off glossy photos, but you can also print in black and white using your printer. And more examples of lab entries. Let's move on. Well, that's the journal entry here. Image on the left, information on the right, and we have them color coded to match. And the lab to go with it is the bones that we used in class, labeled with the key to go along with it for studying. Very detailed photos. You can see up close, and you can see everything, where everything is being pointed to. AD, for example, foramen magnum. AD, foramen magnum is that big hole there. So you should be able to read the images on your photographs to match up with your key to use as a study guide. Let me go to this image here. Color coding. Color coding is not just coloring, but you're actually assigning a color to each anatomical feature, and you will be coloring that feature itself. And this becomes a study tool. The color coding is also a study tool, because when you see this in black and white on an exam, you'll think to yourself, well, the frontal lobe, or not the frontal lobe, but the frontal bone, I colored it yellow, and that'll help draw your eyes to that region for frontal bone. And then also when studying, I could easily tell you here that our occipital condyles were green. Occipital condyles are green, so you can easily find occipital condyles even before you know what the occipital condyles are, just using the color coding. So this is a study tool that we use in our journal. All right, we have examples of journals available in the classroom for you to go through, but your journal will be about half your grade, so effort is important. Put a lot of effort into your journal work.